Hello, viewers of the National Television. Welcome to this English news. Headline first. President Evariste Ndayishimiye arrived in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia, on a Thursday afternoon. At the airport, he was greeted by the Ethiopian Minister of Innovation and Technology, Belet Mola. Prime Minister Nestor Ntahontuye then granted an audience on a Thursday to the UNESCO delegation responsible for culture. Discussions focus on projects for the rehabilitation and enhancement of historical sites, particularly the Mozart Forest. The same delegation was also received by the Vice President of the Republic. Details now. President Evariste Ndayishimiye, accompanied by his wife, flew through Addis Ababa in the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia on the first day to attend the 39th ordinary session of the Conference of Heads of State and the Governments of the African Union, scheduled for February 14 to 15, 2026, during which he will assume the presidency of this African organization. It was in the afternoon that the President of the Republic, Evariste Ndayishimiye, arrived in Addis Ababa, the capital of Ethiopia. At the airport, he was greeted by the Ethiopian Minister of Innovation and Technology, Belet Mola, and a large delegation from Burundi, composed mainly of government members and ambassadors. Prime Minister Nestor Ntahontuye received in audience the UNESCO delegation responsible for culture. In this first day, the discussions focused on projects for the rehabilitation and enhancement of historical sites, notably the Mozart Forest. The same delegation was also received by the Vice President of the Republic, Prosper Bazombanza, to discuss the same project. This delegation was accompanied by the ambassador and the project promoter, Princess Esther Kamatari. The Burundian Senate organized a capacity building workshop in Bujumbura on the first day for senators and the staff of the institution in the area of logistics. This training session aims to improve the skills in analyzing and drafting bills and other texts ratified by Burundi. Jiva Ndayishimiye for more details.
The training workshop for senators and some officials of the Senate on capacity building for legislative drafting. The representative of the governor of Bujumbura province, Samson Nayizeye, indicated that the training would enable these senators to draft laws and adopt bills aimed at protecting citizens. In his speech, the president of the Senate, Gervais Ndirakobucha, highlighted that the training was organized to equip senators with knowledge and technical competencies in the drafting and adoption of bills in order to improve the quality of legislative text for the proper functioning of the state and the well-being of all citizens. He also stated that the training would help them better draft and analyze the country's laws as well as other texts that Burundi has ratified. Pierre Claver Hashimana, a law professor at the university, emphasized in his presentation to the senators that they have a mission to draft laws and oversee government actions. He pointed out that when drafting a law, it is necessary to take into account the interest of the country and ensure that the law complies with the Constitution. The training will last 2 days.
Prime Minister Nestor Ntahontuye received a UNESCO delegation responsible for culture in audience this first day. Discussions focused on projects for the rehabilitation, and the same delegation was received by the Prime Minister. Details with Maris Mohigwe.
The UNESCO delegation in charge of culture was first received in audience by the Prime Minister Burundi, Nestor Ntahontuye. The delegation is composed of UN experts, including the director in charge of culture, as well as other experts within the organization, accompanied by Ambassador Esther Kamatari. According to the Prime Minister's spokesperson, the discussions focused in particular on the project for the rehabilitation and the promotion of Burundi's historic sites, notably the National Museum of Gitega and Mhotsa Natural Reserve. The same delegation was received in audience by the Vice President of the Republic, Prosper Bazombanza. The discussions focused on the rehabilitation project of the historic site of Gitega, particularly the National Museum of Gitega as well as Mhotsa Forest, both located in Gitega province. The Vice President emphasized the importance of this project, stating that history is a factor of unity for Burundians. According to Ambassador Estelle Kamatari, she came with the UNESCO experts to launch the implementation of the project. She specified that the elements preserved in these historic sites represent the identity and the history of all Burundians beyond ethnic affiliations. She added that a country without identity is a country without a future.
The Secretary General of the CNDD-FDD party called on newly elected officials in the Muhuta commune, Bujumbura province, to commit to fighting economic corruption and to set an example in their action. This statement was made on a first day as a part of a series of visits he's conducting throughout the country. Reverend Kurio also urged Muhuta commune officials to revive maize cultivation, particularly the Isenge variety. Gato for more details.
We are on Gitaza Hill and Zone in Muhuta commune, where activities to welcome the Secretary General of the CNDD-FDD party, Reverend Kurio, took place as part of the installation of newly appointed administrative and party officials. The objective of this activity was to enable the newly appointed leaders to mobilize the population in support of development projects initiated by the government. According to CNDD-FDD Communal Secretary in Muhuta, several actions are currently underway, notably the promotion of export crops, the extension of access to drinking water, and encouraging young people to apply for bank loans in order to develop income-generating activities. In his address, Reverend Kurio called on the inhabitants of Muhuta to demonstrate strong commitment and to serve as role models for the people under their leadership. Located on a hilly terrain overlooking Lake Tanganyika, Muhuta commune faces challenges related to soil erosion. The Secretary General of the CNDD-FDD urged the population to establish contour bounds and plant soil stabilizing grasses to protect agricultural land. Under the theme of good governance, the servant of God, Claver Ndaisenga, for his part, encouraged leaders to show humility, to serve with dedication, to love and care for the people under their responsibility, and to uphold truth and integrity in the exercise of their duties. In Bujumbura province, the CNDD-FDD Secretary General visited Muhuta commune after touring the communes of Kwibaga and Isare.
Just on the eve of the World Radio Day, the Ministry of Communication and Media organized a workshop for media professionals this Thursday in Gitega, the political capital. Jean-Claude Nizigiyimana, assistant to the Minister of Communication and Media, who opened the event, stated that artificial intelligence is gradually becoming an essential tool in certain fields, including communication and media. However, artificial intelligence has drawbacks if it is misused. Juva Ndaishimiye.
On the theme, Radio and Artificial Intelligence, Opportunities and the Threats, this exchange workshop brought together officials from the Ministry of Communication and Media, media professionals, journalists and the members of the Burundian Association of Radio Broadcasters. Jean-Claude Nizigiyimana, assistant to the Minister of Communication and Media, praised the contribution of radio broadcasters for their commitment alongside the government of Burundi in promoting professional, responsible and forward-looking journalism. He added that artificial intelligence offers considerable opportunities but also presents challenges. Jean-Claude Nizigiyimana noted that artificial intelligence provides opportunities such as facilitating access to information but also can lead to misinformation, manipulation of public opinion and violations of journalistic ethics. Jacques Bukuru, a journalism expert, emphasized in his presentation that journalists must work for peace, promote democracy, uphold citizens' freedoms, and foster solidarity, which are universal values.
Well, end of this news edition. Thank you for being with us. Keep watching our programs. Bye-bye.